All right, welcome. This little video is gonna try to show you the four parts of a Microsoft Access database. Um, this activity is part of my ATT course, and essentially I want you to know that there's four things inside of an Access database. There is a table. Okay, so number one, acknowledge that there's a table. And then after we look at the table, we're going to make a form. And that we're going to make a form to enter data into our table. And after that, we're going to do a few queries. And then finally, we're going to do something called a report, which is basically a nicely formatted query result. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our database. Here it is. This is Microsoft Access 2007. And here, it's kind of a new interface here, but here, look, you got your database objects. You got tables, queries, forms, reports. So, like under queries, there's nothing there. We didn't make any yet. But tables, we actually are given a table. So let me double click the table. The table is called contestants. And just to give you some context, imagine you had a Subway restaurant and you wanted to give away a prize to your customers. So you offer a ballot for your customer to fill out. So on the ballot, they might fill out their first name, their last name, their age. We went ahead and entered in that data. So we have 23 contestants. So this is a table in a database. Each table has these columns are called records, and each row, these columns are called fields. Okay, fields, sorry about that. And each row is a record. Okay. And in each field, you can put in words or text or numbers or Boolean data. So this is a table of data. We could go ahead and write new records, new ballots that have been filled out. So we could manually enter them in here. But I'm going to close the table, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to Forms. Now, oddly enough, I have a form here, but I'm going to show you how to make a form. So I'm going to do this. Create. Now, under the Create tab, you have four workgroups: tables, forms, reports, and queries. So under Form, I'm going to say More Forms, Form Wizard. And Form Wizard's kind of nice. It's nice and simple. We're going to say Table of Contestants. That's the only table we can make a form for. And we're going to add all the fields. We're going to add all the fields except for ID. So I'm going to undo what I just did. To add all the fields in a table, you hit this double-headed arrow. But if you want to remove some of the fields, you can highlight them and hit the arrow to the left, these little chevrons. So I'm going to hit Next. There's different looks to the forms, but I'm just going to do the default columnar. Then there's different visual looks to these forms. Sorry, someone just came in. So I'm going to do aspect. I'm going to do next, and finally, you just give it a name. So I'm going to do contestants form. Hit finish, and there you go. We've made a form, and what we can do with this form is at the bottom we can toggle through our records. And I can hit this button here, which is the last record. And if I wanted to add a new record, I could hit this new blank record, hit here, and then I could add a new record. I could also search records. And so there's a student named Peter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this Find button. If I had a list of 1,000 names and I was looking for a person named Peter, I'm going to hit the binoculars, I'm going to hit Find Peter, look in what field, first name, and sure enough, I have Peter here. Okay. And if there was more Peters, I could toggle through them. All right, so that's how you make a form. By the way, really quick, I can do Design View for this form, and I could add a label, and I'll add the label here, and then I'll add my name. My name happens to be Wayne, so I'm going to put by Murray. And, well, I can't really see black on black, so I'm going to try to change the font color to white and bold. Does that work out? Highlight that and make the font color white. Alright, so I'm going to go to normal view, and now it says contestants formed by Dwayne Murray. So that's kind of cool. So let's look at what we wanted to do here. What do we want to do? We know that there are tables. Good. We know how to make a form. I did it quickly, but I used the form wizard. And now I'm going to show you how to make a query. This might be the more challenging thing to learn about databases. And so out of all the contestants we have, we want to know which contestants are from Windsor. So, all right, sorry, I just paused there for a sec. I added this comparison operators box here. So we want to know which contestants are from Windsor. So we have an equal sign equals Windsor. So watch this. We're going to go create, and we're going to say query design. So we're going to query the database, and you know what? I might actually back up a second. Let's look at your table. So we want to know which contestants are from Windsor. So see how there's a field name city here? So where city equals Windsor. So this is our table. So here's our query wizard, and we're going to say, we want to say show tables. We want to add the contestants table, and I'm going to get rid of that. So we're going to do a query. We want first name, last name. Notice I'm just dragging these fields: age, sex, city, province, address. Okay. So we want to say where we want to show all the records in the table where city. So here's city, and we're going to put equals Windsor. And so this row here underneath this check mark is criteria. So we're gonna hit, after we put equals Windsor under the city field, we're gonna hit run. And isn't this cool? Out of the 30 or 40 contestants, all of these contestants are from Windsor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit close. And do you want to save change? Yes. And we're going to say contestants from Windsor. Okay, so if we go here to queries, now we have contestants from Windsor. We can always look at that. Now I'm going to do another query here. I'm going to do 3 or 4 maybe, depending on how much time. Which contestants are not from Windsor? So look at this. There's a does not equal operator here. It's the less than and greater than sign beside each other. So let's do a query for contestants that are not from Windsor. So I'm going to go create query design view. We're going to add the contestants table. I'm going to add contestants, close that. And I'm going to say first name, last name, age, sex, city, province, address. Now, we want people that are not from Windsor. So under city, again, we're going to do less than, greater than, Windsor. And we're going to click run. And now notice city, London, everything, it's everything but Windsor here. So that's what we wanted. So I'm going to hit close. Do I want to save? Yes. And we're going to call this contestants not from Windsor. All right, so we're going to do maybe one more query here. Which contestants are, let's say which contestants are female. So how would we do that? We're going to go to our database. If you want, take a quick look at our table. So where is the gender stored? Under this sex field. And males and females are denoted with an F or an M. So it's the sex field equals F. Okay, so let's go create query design contestants. We're going to add a few of the fields. Sometimes when you do a query, you might only want first name and last name or an age. So You get to choose how many fields you want to see. Now, why don't we do this? We'll do address. We'll hit city. Okay, so for sex, we're going to put equals F for female. So let's do a query. Very cool. If you look here, everything's F. So we're going to close it to save it. Do you want to save it? Yes. And we can say female contestants. Okay. So we can go queries here. So we got 3 queries. Where am I now? I'm at the I think I'm at 8 minutes. I might do one more query. We'll go create. I'll show you which one I'm going to do. How about which contestants are under 30 years old? Okay, so let's go back here. We're going to say create query design. We're going to show the contestants table. First name, last name, age, sex, city, province, address. Okay, so sorry, it just got interrupted. If we want people that are under 30 years old, what I'm going to do is go under this age category and then say less than and equal to 30. So let's see if that query and these query criteria work. We'll hit run. And let's look at the ages here just to test if our query went well. Yeah, everyone there is between 20 and 30, so perfect. To save this, we're going to hit X. If you want to save changes, yes. We're going to say contestants less than 30 years old. Oops. All right, so queries. Now there's one last thing that we want to make, and that's a report. So reports are nicely formatted queries, query results or table results. So watch, I'm going to do create. Oh, I'm going to do create report using the report wizard. So when you make a report, you can make a report based off of table of data, or if you actually don't want a whole table, you might want to make a report based on some queries you did. So why don't we do a report on the contestants from Windsor that are grouped by gender and then sorted by age. So we're gonna do a report. Start with query contestants from Windsor. This was the data we had available in that query. We'll add all of it. Then we'll say next. Now we can group our contestants from Windsor, so we can group by sex. So what that will mean is you'll divide up all your contestants by males and females. So we'll say sex here. We'll say next. Now we can sort by age and then by last name if there's a tie with the age. So you can sort the contestants within a group. I'm going to hit next. These are different layouts. I'm just going to leave the defaults. These are different design, different looks, different designs. Maybe I'll do that one. I'll say next. Contestants from Windsor, and I like to put report just to remind me that it's a report. And I'm going to hit finish. And isn't this cool? So you have contestants from Windsor, you got all your females lined up here. And in fact, females are sorted by age, males sorted by age. And even beyond age, you have sorted by secondary sorting by last name. So this is a report of our query. So here's a nicely formatted report of our query. That's what our query looks like. That's a data sheet view, but then that's a nicely formatted report. If I wanted, by the way, I could go into design view. I could add a label. I could say created by Dwayne. I could add an image to my report. I could actually start adjusting some of the size of the fields here, but Now if I want to get out of design view, I just hit normal view,